Alright guys, welcome to your 13th XHTML and CSS tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to be covering something called a colspan. Now, whenever you make a table, you don't always want to make a perfect grid. You don't always want the same number of columns on every row. 3, 3, 3, 3. It gets boring and it's just not useful. So maybe you want to make a table that has one column at the top and two columns in the middle and maybe 5 columns at the end. So maybe you want to change it up a bit, but from what we know so far, we don't know how to do that. Well, this tutorial is going to show you how. So, for example, well, let me do this first. Let's go ahead and create a table so we have something to work with, and let's go ahead and make it 4 rows. Press tab, table row, table row. So let's copy this. And easy fingers, take it easy there. So now we have a table with 4 rows in it, and might as well add our little border attribute so we don't get confused. Now in our first row, let's go ahead and add that main title across the top. So let's say for the rest of this table in these rows, let's go ahead and make it simple and only add 2 columns. But for this first one, we want a title big and centered, and we want it to span across 2 columns. So there's only going to be one piece of data in here, but it's going to cover 2 columns worth of information. So let's go ahead and make a table header, because you know those are the pieces of data that stand out. And let's go ahead and make a table about odd people. And for our table header, first and foremost, we need to introduce that attribute called colspan and set this equal to 2. Now, colspan stands for column span, and it says how many columns do you want to span this piece of data across? Well, we want it to take up 2 columns, so that's how you do that. Make colspan equal 2. And actually, one other thing we can do while we're here is we can go ahead and make this a header 3. That will make it a little bigger and bold as well. So odd people is going to be spanning across 2 columns. It's going to be bolded and centered. So now in our second row, let's go ahead and add some data. Actually, let's go ahead and add 2 more headers. And let me just go ahead and copy this. So the first column is going to be the type of people I find odd, and the second column is going to be the reason I find them odd. So in our third row, let's go ahead and start populating the table with some data. So TD, TD, and let's go ahead and copy this because I am way too lazy to type all that again, and paste it. So the first type of people that I find odd are cat people. And the reason I find them odd, let's just write something like 7 cats is just too many. Because seriously, people, anything over like 3, then you're kind of pushing the limit there. So just take it easy and back off. You don't need that many cats. Trust me, they want the attention, not company. So let's go ahead and copy this right here, and in our last row, paste this, and let's find another type of people. Let me think. Loud people, I find them odd. And the reason I find them odd is because let's put, sure, turn that music up. It's only 3 a.m. and make sure you spell music wrong and it looks good, so we're good to go. Cause you know, at 3 a.m. really, do you need to be blaring your music as loud as you possibly can? That's just annoying. So anyways, go ahead and save this and see what we got. Refresh it and check it out. The main odd people, you can see that this table basically consists of 2 columns. 1, 2. But this main one right here, we told it to colspan 2, if you remember right there. So what this did is it took this piece of data and it spanned it across 2 columns. 1 column and 2 column. And the rest of this was just stuff we learned before. The table headers, type and reason, that's why they are bolded and centered, and the table data, which is this regular dumb old data, is just plain old text left justified. See, this is pushed to the left, everything's pushed to the left. So that is how you make, you know, this is a pretty organized looking table. It's a lot easier to read than, you know, if you didn't use colspan or didn't bold anything. So anyways, that's a useful table. So if you ever are wondering, hey, I wonder what type of people Bucky finds odd, you can go back to this and use it as a reference. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys later.